Hello my love, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome to the New Age Rebellion community. My name is Kylie Nell. I am a spiritual mentor, personal growth coach, as well as an energy healer, and I am so excited to dive into today's episode with you as we're going to talk about the full moon coming up in Pisces. It's our second full moon for August. It's also the second super moon of the year, which is quite a potent energy to work with. What this actually means for your healing journey and how you can use this to your advantage. Then we're going to dive into a little bit of an emotional intelligence and why you need to think about that. Is that the word I want to use? Why emotional intelligence and why you should actually give a shit about emotional intelligence in your healing journey. Let's get started. I feel like full moons are always such deep reflective periods. So the full moon really spiritually signifies an ending. It's the ending of a cycle. There's a season that's coming to a close. And it's so interesting as we feel into this full moon energy that as we have this full moon in Pisces, there is this strong theme coming up right now for you to reflect not only on the things that are important to you, but also reflect on how you can develop your intuition more and actually lean into your psychic gifts and abilities. Now, the thing that's really important to know about this is we are all inherently gifted. We are all inherently intuitive or psychic. And it's really just there's just an extent of a few elements that come into play of how activated are you in your psychic gifts and your intuitive abilities. One of the things to consider is as we go through our life experiences, especially if they are traumatic, life experiences create imbalances within our energy systems and take us away from either being able to speak our truth, take us away from either being able to actually just trust our intuition, connect to our bodies, have that ability to feel with the gut, and lead with the heart and not the mind. It's interesting to see that this full moon in Pisces is truly asking us to really dig deep and reflect on why is it important for you to develop your own intuitive abilities, to be able to not only develop your own intuitive abilities, but and also trust yourself more with this last stretch of 2023. Now, as I also say this, I recognize that time is just truly an elusive construct, and we've created that. So this haste that you're feeling in the collective energy at the moment of it's the end of the year, we literally just have four months left of the year. It's crazy. We literally have 4 months left of 2023. As I'm recording this, it's August. We're closing off August and diving into September. There's this sudden haste and rush energy that's coming through from the collective at the moment that now is the time, now it's crunch time. I maybe didn't get the goals or the things that I wanted to do this year. Life maybe took a different route and there's this sudden pressure to just have to perform. This is my invitation to you to fully just release this pressure altogether right now and use this full moon to really reassess what's important for you, like what goals are important and where do you want to take things. 2023 may have not gone as planned. That's kind of been the theme for a lot of us because it's been a deeply spiritual year. We do have the number 7 coming through. Really get to know yourself and go through this deep spiritual awakening of sorts. We've all been through this deep rebirth. We've all had to go into these deeper parts of our souls, and perhaps some of us have leaned into that calling and listened, and others may have experienced resistance. All in all, this full moon is really an opportunity for you to reassess what's important in your life, and also to really dig deep into what that feels like within your body so that you can trust yourself more to make these decisions. Now, as Pisces very much so relates to the element of water, this full moon in Pisces is also asking you to deeply surrender. It's quite a beautiful dichotomy that's happening. On one end, we're being called to really reflect on what's important in your life and where can you actually lean in to trust yourself more and trust and develop your intuition. Doing so, there is this deep element of surrender that's being required. This deep element of trust to just really flow like water and release the expectations that you've placed on yourself. This collective pressure, I find August, especially with Leo season, to be always such an interesting time because there's this sudden switch of gears where we're like, oh my goodness, we're so close to only having the last quarter of the year. And suddenly there's this overdrive of reflection of, am I where I thought I would be in the beginning of the year? Did I stick to my New Year's resolutions? Have I been showing up for these goals? And very so often, these reflections are very much fueled with blame in terms of I didn't have the resources, or I didn't have enough help, or whatever it may be, or perhaps even feeling this internal part of I could have done better. This is all not good at me, like you're either like hating on yourself, or you just find that you're very triggered at the moment and there's a lot of triggers coming up to the surface and there's kind of like this agitation in the air. I'm gonna see those divinely channeled because even my camera was like, ooh, there's a little bit of a wobble there. With understanding that this is what's happening in the collective conscious energy at the moment and this is what you may be experiencing, I invite you to use Thursday as this beautiful opportunity to reflect where you're going and actually just tune in and be like, what do I want for myself? And to come from that energy. What do you want for yourself? And what do you want for the rest of this year? Releasing the expectations. And if you truly, truly, truly just surrendered and allowed yourself to trust, and if you could have the things that go beyond your limited perception and control, and you can literally have anything you desired, what would you actually go after? What would be important to you? What would then truly matter? So to help you dive a little bit deeper in this, I've left a few journal prompts below, and these are just going to allow you to activate and really feel into the energy of the full moon. If you'd like more guidance on this, I do have my newsletter Ripple Radio that comes out every single month, and I love to bring in astrology bits here, as well as how you can use these in your self-development and healing journeys. So with that being said, I really wanted to just have a little bit of a note and just touch upon the importance of emotional intelligence and healing. Now, it's so interesting because this is something that's come up not only in my own healing journey, but I see it very much so with my clients, especially those that we've worked for quite a long term with, and I've been able to teach them how to deal and understand their emotions, really just create this deep sense of self-empowerment and fulfillment. And this just gave me another reminder on why emotional intelligence is honestly so important in your healing journey. Emotional intelligence is really the ability to understand your emotions, but not only understand them, be able to actually process through them. And through that process, be able to integrate them, either express them in a manner that feels empowering and feels, I don't like to say correct for the situation because that's so subjective. Again, it feels empowering to you and it's not coming from a place of wounding or trigger or like, oh, I didn't mean to say that, I don't know where that came from. It's really coming from a place where you deeply understand your emotions, you're able to hold space for them and feel them, identify them, and work through them in a way that actually allows you to feel empowered. The reason why I bring all of this up, and it is quite a mouthful and a half, is because something that I've just noticed along the way is that it's so important for you to also, as you're going through your healing journey, as you're working through all traumas, as you're really stepping into this sense of personal power and this journey of self-discovery, it's incredibly important to equip yourself with actually understanding how to deal with your emotions, understanding how to identify your emotions, and through that process, how to work with them to create the best outcome and the result for you. Because we truly are at our core such emotional beings. And this is a huge part that's often neglected within healing work. And I see this with clients who also start to work with me if they've done healing in other capacities. There was a sense of, yes, things were released, but there wasn't really an understanding that was brought to the space, or they don't actually know what they released. And so it keeps resurfacing later because that emotion that has come up hasn't actually fully been given the attention it deserves. It hasn't been processed, it hasn't been understood to its core, and it also hasn't been activated and felt in the body. So a practice I would just love to give you, my love, as you go through your healing journey, if you find that, ooh, this is something that I haven't really sat with, or I haven't really dived into the work of like emotional intelligence and actually working with my emotions, really just been a focus of release and not a focus of understanding and feeling and empowering yourself through them, even those emotions that feel low vibe or sticky. I want you to really start just having little checkpoints throughout the day and asking yourself, how do I feel right now? Just taking a moment to anchor in both feet flat on the ground, plant yourself on a chair, or if you can sit outside, just to ground yourself. Taking a deep breath and release. Just do a body check, and just as you sit here in your breath, just ask yourself, how am I doing right now? How are you? How am I feeling? Like for me right now, excitement and creatively inspired comes up. My body's also feeling a little bit tired. Had quite a run this morning. And I'm feeling in flow. I want you to do the same, like try that check and see how you're feeling. And the reason why these are so important is because as you start to go through your healing journey, you will have all the emotions come up, you'll have triggers come up, you'll have this influx of emotions, and often where we start to like press the brakes and try to backpedal out of this healing journey and out of like really this process of self-discovery and meeting the depths of our soul, is we don't actually understand and we're not able to facilitate and hold space for emotions. When they come up, there's not the sense of, okay, I can be feeling all these different emotions, I can hold space for them, but I don't have to create anything of them. They don't have to mean anything. Instead of just feeling this influx of feeling excited, and maybe you're nervous and you're tired and you're creatively inspired, but you're also feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Like there may be so many emotions coming up. If we don't actually have that capacity, and if you don't have that capacity to hold and feel and understand those emotions, to play out and manifest as this intense overwhelm. And what happens, especially if you come from a background and you come from a life experience of having gone through trauma and having gone through really, really low points in your life, and you're in this journey of building yourself up, the response that happens the most of the time really comes from the dissociation or trying to back up, because it's like, okay, this is too overwhelming for the emotional and the nervous system, so we're just going to back right out because we don't know how to deal with this. To be able to make this process easier for you and allow this healing to just organically unfold even more so, and then just going to empower you to become this unstoppable fucking woman. It really comes down to that ability to be able to scan your emotions and know how to work with them. I hope this beautiful full moon just channeled message is going to empower you to use August's last full moon on the 31st, this Thursday, to your best advantage in your healing and manifesting journey. And also that this little golden nugget on emotions and emotional intelligence healing can also just crack something wide open for you so that you can just reach such deeper fulfillment and freedom within your healing journey. I'm sending you so much love. Bye for now.